at 10x Coder Kids and an official Guinness record holder for the youngest computer programmer in the world. And today you are gonna be learning chapter 3 of your book Trackpad Class 6, that is charts in Excel 2016, that is on a page number 33. Alright, so we'll start with page number 34 and I will explain everything in this chapter so you don't need to worry. And without any delay, let's get started. Alright, so come to your page number 24 and first we are going to see what charts are. Representing data in the pictorial form has always been considered as a good medium to attract the attention of readers. Charts in Excel are pictorial representation of data and are also called graphs. So first of all, you need to remember charts and graphs are the same thing. And in pictorial representation of some data is known as charts, right? This much you have to remember, right? If for charts definition you have to remember this much. We'll read. Further, it is much simpler for us to observe patterns in the form of charts or graphs rather than looking at textual data. So what you have to remember, charts or graphs in Excel are the pictorial representation of data. Alright, this must you remember and you're all good. Right? Next, we are going to see advantages of charts. Charts are advantageous in the following ways. A lot of information can be displayed in an easy to understand format. So if you have thousands of lines of data with charts, the data can be displayed in an easy to understand format, right? Then data can be presented in an attractive way to attract the attention of the readers. So if you are writing an article or something and you give this type of data, the reader will read it but won't be that much fascinated by the thing, right? Whereas if you insert a chart of this data, that would be impressive on your article, right? And the readers will be attracted, right, to your article, and it will gain attention of the readers, right? And finally, a chart is more informative and enables us to take instant decisions by analyzing the data easily, right? So a chart is very informative, and till the time you read a long set of data, a chart you can analyze very quickly, right? And your mind would be process the pictorial form much more quickly, right? Next, we are going to see components of a chart. For that, I'm going to make the chart of this data. You don't need to worry, everything will come further. I'm just making a chart so that you can understand. So, I'll make a similar chart that is there in your book on page number 34. Let's say clustered column. Alright. So, what are the components of a chart? Let's move the chart here so you can see it properly. Alright, a chart can be understood without difficulty if it is clearly marked. There are many components of a chart. They are discussed below. First of all, you have the y-axis. So what is the y-axis? This over here, you see the numbers in vertical line. This is the y-axis, right? Next, the title. So we have not given any title. So if I say data, so this is our title, right? Next, we have data series. So these bars are our data series, right? Next, we have grid lines. These lines over here, as you can see in the background, are grid lines. Then we have the plot area where all these bars are coming. This is the plot area. All right. Next, we have the x-axis, like you can see Hindi, English, maths, and science, right? This is the x-axis, right? The horizontal ways known as the x-axis, the horizontal category. Next, legends. Legends are basically those which show that what is what. So which bar is which. So blue bar is Ravi and orange bar is Lakshay. And basically in this chart we are seeing the comparison of marks between Ravi's marks and Lakshay's marks, right? So as we can see, Ravi has scored more in Hindi, right? In English, Lakshay has scored more. In maths, Lakshay has scored more. And in science, both have scored equally, right? So this is pretty cool, right? So we can easily understand here what is happening. and we can see graphically we can estimate the difference, right? And we can say that there's a lot of difference. We can tell people that there's a lot of difference between these two marks, or there's a very less difference, right? So as you can see here, there is very less difference. Here's there is a bit more difference, and here there is very less difference, right? Pretty cool. So now it's explaining all of these things to us. Title, it describes the main purpose and content of the chart. So we should say marks obtained, right? So this explains the chart, what the chart is actually about, right? Next, the x-axis, it is the horizontal axis of the chart. It is also known as the category axis. So you only have to remember that this is the x-axis of the chart. And if they say define a category axis, that will be, you will say that is the x-axis and it is the horizontal axis of the chart. Next, the y-axis, it is the vertical axis of the chart, as I told you, right? The value of each data series is plotted on the axis. It is also known as the value axis, right? So this is the value axis, that was the category axis, and here all the values will be there, right? And we can say how many marks did a person score, right? Next we have data series. So data series was our this bars, right? It is related to the set of values. It is represented by the bars or slices that have data values, right? So you just have to say that it is related to the set of values, right? So just say that data series represent the sets of values. It is represented by the bars or slices that have data values, right? So this definition you will have to remember. This is a very important definition, right? So next we have legend, right? So the legend basically is telling that the blue bars show Ravi's marks, and the yellow bars show Lakshya's marks, right? So it is a key which displays the symbols or colors used in the chart, all right? Next we have the chart area, where our chart is basically plotted, and I don't think the yeah, chart area is also known as the plot area, or no, it's not. What is the chart area? Okay, chart area is not marked here. It includes all the objects and elements of a chart. So this whole thing is the chart area, all right? Next, the grid lines. So these can either be horizontal or vertical lines depending on the selected chart type. It makes it easier to read and understand the values. Just say these grid lines may make easier to read and understand the values, and they can be vertical or horizontal. That this much only, right? And finally, we have plot area. It is the rectangular area which contains two axes. It carries the actual chart and includes the plotted data series, category, and value axis. Right? So this much is our plot area. Right? This much is our plot area, and this whole thing is our chart area. All right. Now next we are gonna come on types of charts. So let's just remove this chart. All right, and let's see different types of charts. First of all, it's saying that on page number 35, Excel provides numerous types of charts to present data in diverse ways. Let us discuss a few commonly used charts. All right. First of all, we have a column chart. So we'll just make the column chart. We'll select the data and we'll just make the column chart so that you can understand better. So this is the, I think this is the column chart. All right. So this is our column chart. A column chart is used to display data in the form of vertical bars within a specified time period. These vertical bars are used to show comparison between categories which are represented by rectangles. So as we can see, blue is for Ravi's marks, and yellow is for Lakshya's marks, right? So as we can see, we can compare, right? So we can compare the values of Lakshya and Ravi through the column chart, right? The categories are typically organized along the horizontal axis and values along the vertical axis. So the category axis is along the horizontal axis, and the value axis is along the vertical axis, that is also known as the y-axis. right? So this was our column chart, and basically you have to remember that this shows comparison between categories which are represented by rectangles. This much you have to remember. This is the key point of this chart, right? Next, we'll delete this chart and we'll move on to bar chart. All right. Where is the bar chart? I think the clustered column one is the bar chart. All right. No, this is not the bar chart. Oh, I'm so stupid. Just a second. And yeah, this is a clustered bar chart. Is our bar chart. All right. So a bar chart is used to display the data in the form of long rectangular rods. As you can see, these long rectangular rods, right? Also called bars. The categories are represented on the vertical axis. So the categories now are represented on the vertical axis, not the horizontal, but the vertical axis, right? And values are represented on the horizontal axis. So the value axis now is the horizontal axis, that is our x axis, right? It is used to compare individual items, and it also highlights a comparison of values. Right? A bar chart is also known as a histogram. So this bar chart is also known as a histogram, first of all, and second of all, it is this is important. This statement, it is used to compare individual items and also highlight a comparison of values. This is important, and a bar chart is also known as a histogram. This is also very important. All right. Pretty good. Now next we are gonna move on the line chart, right? So I'll show the line chart to you also. Here we have it. All right. So a line chart is a type of graph that displays continuous data at regular intervals. So as you can see, it is showing continuous data at regular intervals. So it is showing the performance of Lakshay and Ravi in a line form, right? So it's showing it in a line form. That Ravi, if I hover over here, series Lakshay point 2 English value 84, right? So this is Lakshay's point 2, right? In English he scored 84. And Lakshay, where is Hindi? So as you can see, in science Lakshay scored 90, in maths he scored 93, and in English he scored 84, and and there is no Hindi. I can't see Hindi. Alright, pretty good. So let's just read. A line chart is a type of graph that displays continuous data at regular intervals. It is generally used to highlight the changes that take place in a value through a specified period of time. It is also known as frequency polygon. So this is important. It is also known as frequency polygon, right? And you must have seen those stock symbols where they show these lines, kind of they go down and up, right? So and in movies also, in doctors things, you would have seen when measuring the BP, there's a line chart that goes up and down, up and down, up and down, right? So a chart basically displays continuous data, that is continuous, right? To show basically, it's the line chart is not exactly meant for this type of data. It is meant for one data. For example, you have Bitcoin. It's a cryptocurrency, right? So prices of Bitcoin increase and decrease, right? So there's a continuous data, and to know when it increased, when it decreased, we use the line chart, right? So it displays the continuous data at regular intervals, right? It is generally used to highlight the changes that take place in a value through a specified period of time. So, like if you want to see the value of Bitcoin in 1 year, right? Or what happened to the value of Bitcoin in 1 year. So, at some times you would have seen that it has gone very high. At some point you would have seen it had gone very low. Then you would have seen it was moderate, and so on, right? Next, we have the area chart. So the area chart is also very important for you guys. So let's just select the data, and I'm just showing you the area chart. Oof. Just a second. and the area chart. Where is the area chart? Oh, I don't have the okay, I can have the area. All right, let's read. All right. So an area chart displays the quantitative magnitude of the data graphically over the time change. So I'm just trying to find it. Waterfalls. Okay, I can't find the area chart here. Alright, let's just read. An area chart displays the quantitative magnitude of the data graphically over the time change. It also depicts the relationship of parts to a whole by displaying the sum of plotted values. This is not that important. It just this line is important after this. Area chart emphasizes on the area between the line and the axis. Alright, this is important. The area chart emphasizes on the area between the line and the axis, right? With the help of the colors, textures, hatchings, etc. These charts are based on the features of the line chart, right? So there's not much given about the area chart. You just have to remember that an area chart displays the quantitative magnitude of the data graphically over the time change. So you just have to say the what do you mean the quantitative magnitude? It's just saying that it shows the quantity. So an area chart displays the quantity of the data, quantitative magnitude of the data graphically over the time change. And then you have to say area chart emphasizes on the area between the line and the axis with the help of the colors, textures, hatchings, etc. This much you are done. Next, we have the pie chart, right? Now, pie chart is very important. So, let's just see and let's just show a pie chart. Then, this pie chart is for Ravi. Alright, so a pie chart is shaped like a circle divided into slices, each slice showing the relative size of each value. The pie chart only displays data series in the form of comparative charts, right? So it only displays data series in the form of comparative charts. For example, if Ravi wants to compare his marks of Hindi, English, Maths, and Science, he can use the pie chart, right? It is useful when you want to emphasize on significant elements. So for example, over here we can see that this is the percentage. So let's see that this whole is 100%, right? And it's saying that this 78 is 24% of Ravi's total marks in science, maths, English, and Hindi. So when we add all the marks of Ravi in Hindi, English, maths, science, your what are these marks? English marks are 24%, right? Your Hindi's marks are 24%, right? Your science marks are 27%, and your maths marks are 25%, right? So this shows that how much percentage is some marks of his total Ravi's total marks, right? So like maths is the 25% of Ravi's total marks, right? Finally, we have the scatter chart. All right, I'll insert it. And this is an important chart, guys. A scattered chart is also known as an XY plot chart. So this is important. It is also known as an XY plot chart. They show the correlation between the two sets of values. They show the correlation between the two sets of values. So as we can see that we have Lakshay's marks over here, right? So you have Lakshay's marks over here. And if I see all these marks, right? So it's giving the title Lakshay, right? But these are not actually Lakshay's marks, right? So what this is the X and this is the Y. For example, this is the X and this is the Y, right? 81 is the X and 93 is the Y, right? So if I give an XY value, okay, I'm not gonna use this data. I'm not gonna use the data here. If I say 8, 8, and if I select this, insert, recommended chart, and where is right? So what is happening? All right, let's read first. The x and y axis are used to represent the data plots on the chart. Alright, let's just use this data only right now. And scatter chart. I don't think that scatter chart is the same as the scatter chart I'm using here. Alright, just let's understand this first, right? So what is happening over here? This is the x and this is the y. So for example, I say 80, so it will go on 80x and it will go on 70y and then plot a dot over there. Similarly, it will go on 78x, so 78x, and it will go on 84y, so 84y is somewhere here, and it will plot that point, right? Similarly, it will go on 81x, so 81 is here somewhere, and it will go on 93y, so 93 is here somewhere, and when the x, so when the x and the y collide, so when I go here and then here, right? So when I say I'm drawing, let's imagine a line. For y, let's imagine a line here, 93, and for x, let's imagine a line here. So it will go 93. Let's start from x. It will go on 81, and then it will go up to 93, right? So like that. And 90, it will go on 90x, and then it will go from there to 90y, and then it will plot the dot, right? So I hope you got a quick overview on that. And finally, we have the donut chart. A donut chart consists of more than one data series. Each ring represents one data series in this chart. It displays the relationships of parts of to a whole. So the statement I would explain, but first let's plot the donut chart. So it's not in the recommended charts. Yes, here is our donut. So let's see what is happening. So this over here, the inner ring are the marks of Ravi, and the outer ring are the marks of Lakshya, right? So what is this? A donut chart consists of more than one data series. So there are two data series, one marks of Lakshya and the other marks of Ravi. Each ring represents one data series in this chart. So the one whole ring represents one data series. It displays the relationships of parts to a whole. So for example, we can see that Lakshya has 70 over here, and Ravi has 80, right? And 80 is 24% of Ravi's marks, and 70 is 21% of Lakshya's marks, right? So this is also used for comparison between two data series, right? Now we are coming on the steps to create a chart. The first step in creating a chart is collecting the data which will be displayed in the chart. To create a chart, follow the given steps. Select the data range. So first you need some data, right? Next you will have to go to the insert tab, right? Next you will have to click on the chart type. So which chart type you want. For example, I want a bar chart type, and then I can select the desired chart, whichever chart I want, right? Very simple. I've been doing this since the whole video, right? And the chart will appear. All right. Now if you want to change the chart type, so we'll need to create a chart. So I'll just go here. No, let's go here and then here. So this is our chart, but I want to change the chart type. So what we will do, we'll go on the design tab. So if, for example, we are on the home tab, we'll go on the design tab, right? Click on change chart type, right? We'll say click on change chart type. Then we'll click on the desired option. So if for example, I want a line, I'll click on it, right? And then I'll select which type of line chart I want, and the chart will change to a line chart, right? Pretty good. Now we are on setting the data range on page number 38, right? And we are coming to the end of this chapter. So the chart is created on the basis of the data in the cell ranges, and when the data is updated within the range, it gets reflected in the chart immediately. So we didn't see that. If I say Lakshya just scored 1 mark in Hindi, out of 100 he scored only 1 mark. Ooh, we can see an immediate change in the chart, right? However, when the new rows and columns are added, they are not reflected in the chart. So for example, if I just move this chart, then if I just copy this row, and if I paste it here, I don't see any change in the chart. Let's just say science 2, and I'll say 95 and 95, right? We can't see any change in the chart, right? So it can be done with the following steps. How do we do? All right, let's see. We'll go on the chart design, right? Next we're gonna select data click on the select data command in the data group. So we'll say select data, right? Then change the data range in the chart data range text box. So we'll change the data range over here. So if I say A1, oh, I'll say dollar, it will be till sheet 1, and we'll saying that we want from A1, and that is D, that is D6 till D dollar 6, right? And then we'll click on OK. Okay, okay. Oh, there was a problem with the formula, and if I just say D6, it's not selecting it. Let's just say this is 5. No, let's just click on cancel. Let's say this is 5. I think it's because of the values. All right, now let's go on. Let's click this chart design, select data, and D6, and OK. All right, now our chart is updated finally. All right, so now the new data will be reflected in the charts as shown above. Right, now moving and resizing the chart. We can move and resize the chart to make it easier to read. To move the chart, click on the blank area of the chart. So click on the blank area of the chart, that is a chart area, right? uh, Excel selects it automatically and surrounds it with borders and handles. Now click and drag the chart to the desired new location. So if I want to move it here, I can move it here, right? And now to resize it, I can just select one of the corners or one of the sides, and just I can expand it, right? Pretty cool. To resize the chart, click on the blank area of the chart and position the mouse pointer over the handle of the chart. The mouse pointer changes to a two-sided arrow. So when I hover, it changes to a two-sided arrow. Now click and drag it to resize. Now changing the background of the chart. This is interesting. So Excel allows us to change the background of the chart. We have treated. Change the background, follow the given steps. Select the chart, selected the chart. Click on the Format tab, Alright. Then click on the Format Selection command. So where is that? Format Selection. I think this is it. Selection pane. Oh no, this isn't it. Format, and all right, let's continue. And then we saying click on the fill section. Oh my god, I'm not getting that option. Reset. I'm not getting the option above reset to match style. All right, no worries. Just click on the fill section and then click on the picture or texture fill option button, right? So pretty simple steps. You can also select various options present under the fill section to change the color of the chart area. All right, so all in all, what you need to see is you need to practice this so that you can have the steps in your mind, right? So I think format pane will maybe help us. Oh, here we are getting, and if I say color, oh wow, all right, we already got that. So when I went to the Format tab, just a second, and if I say selection pane, no, not the selection pane, the format pane, right? In the format pane, I have the upgraded version of Excel, so I think uh, some things were changed, right? But all in all, you just have to practice this Excel, and you'll get the hang of it. And thank you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video. Thank you guys. Bye. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching my videos.